Hi everyone, this is Nicole. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm creating a fun sequin shaker card for Inspired by Stamping today, and I'm hoping to inspire you so that you can get your sequins out and your card base out to create a fun shaker card. These are really big on paper crafting trend right now, so I thought I wanted to share a few of them with you. I created a couple of different ones beforehand, so if you want to visit my blog, go ahead and click on the link below, and then you'll be able to find the related card. So over here, I'm going to start with white color base or white card base, and then I took a Mother's Day bouquet stamp from Inspired by Stamping. And this is a really detailed image, which I am in love because this is really great for coloring. So make sure you stamp it really well to get all the fine details. And after I stamped it with a Versa mark, I poured some white embossing powder and heat set it. And that's going to be our main focus card for today. So I'm starting with a few of the distress markers to create a fun background with this bouquet. I'm gonna color in the image with a couple different shades of distress markers to create a more of the interest, and I'm gonna go back to the image with my watercolor brush to do some watercoloring. The fun thing with watercoloring is that you can always control the intensity by controlling the amount of the water that you're going to put on, and you can always go back later on to add more if you like. And you don't have to be perfect with watercoloring because of, you can be a little bit more forgiving when you go over the outline of the image and things like that, because it just creates a soft look even if you go over a little bit. So that's the one thing that's really good for watercoloring. So I'm gonna take some shades of distress markers. I will list all the colors on my post for today, and you can get all the supplies list from there. But for the rose, I used Victorian Velvet and Warren Lipstick, and for the leaves, I'm going to use Shabby Shutters and Peeled Paint. With the markers or any watercoloring or any coloring to start with, if you want to use different shades of a color, you want to start with a lighter shade first and then go back to the image with a darker shade. That way it's much more easier to blend. Same with the Copic marker. So just a quick tip. And if you're new to watercoloring and you're not really sure how to go about it, I would recommend investing in distress markers because you can do so much with it. So I finished the rose image, and here I kind of darkened the lightning so you can see the image better. And I'm going with my watercolor brush to soften the image where I colored the Shabby Shutters with all the leaves area. And I did a little bit of peeled paint to create a dark spots as well. So after that, I'm going to be creating a color for the bottom left side of the flower. So before I do that, here I'm showing you the peeled paint that I'm going in. So it makes a really big difference when you have two different shades for each color. That way it doesn't look very flat when coloring. So you just need a very little bit to create the shading. Alright, so after that, let me see if I'm going to be all done over here. Alright, so after that I'm going to go with Wild Honey and Mustard Seed to color in the bottom left area. So over here I started with a Wild Honey first in the middle because I wanted to do a little bit of dark coloring in the middle. And after that I went in with Mustard Seed and kind of combine the colors together. So I'm not going to be too careful with it with this flower, so I'm just mixing in all together with the watercolor brush. So it's kind of mixing in, creating a different interest and different shading. And after that, the last flower that's going to be on the bottom right, I am using, let's see which one I'm using. I think I'm using Shady Lilac and Seedless Preserves. I think that's what I'm using, so kind of like a purpley shade. and I took the shaded lilac, or the shaded lilac on the outside of the image, and then seedless preserves in the middle, and then kind of blended in together. So this creates a kind of a really soft look. And for the branch that's hiding kind of in between the flowers, and also a couple of branches that's on the bottom, or the stems I should say, those are colored with Vintage Photo. So that's it for the coloring, which is really easy. It took me about 15 minutes, I think, to color in this, but if you get a hang of it, you can even do it faster. So after I'm all done with the coloring and I let the images dry, I'm going to take a couple of the framelits. This is circle framelits that I'm going to use. So I'm kind of measuring the area that I want the windows to be shown. So here is a pattern paper I took out from Inspired by Stamping. I can't remember the pattern paper right now, but I will list it for sure on the bottom. So I took out the pattern paper and cut it to be a 4.5, actually 4.25 by 5.5, to cover the whole front area. And that creates a window to showcase the rose image. And I have a piece of acetate over here to cover the circled cutout area, and this will create a clear window. So I took out Tombow Mono Multi Glue to go around the window sheet area. Tombow Mono Multi Glue gives you a little bit of give to work around, and it holds really strong, so it's great for clear area because it dries clear. So for the sequence shaking area, I'm going to use 3D foam tape, and I know I'm going overboard with it, but I love to make sure my area is secure, so I just put that all around the area of the first top layer. And then before I put on the window sheet layer, I poured some of the clear sequins, and this one is by Pretty Pink Posh, and I'm going to be carefully placing it right on top of the area so that it doesn't get crooked, because the foam tape is really, really strong. So that's almost done with the sequence shaker. So for the sentiment, I took out I Love You Because stamp set from Inspired by Stamp, and I'm going to take out I Love You Because to be going on the top front area of the card base, and I will stamp a smaller image later on inside the smaller sentiment. It has a lot of good sentiments to go with it, like for example, it says I love you because, and then another sentiment goes with it. It says because you light up my world, and things like that. So it has a really good fun sayings. It's perfect for a friendship card, perfect for Mother's Day card or Father's Day card, perfect for anniversary, and perfect for Valentine's. So it's just great overall sentiment. So after I stamp that with archival black ink, I'm going to do a diagonal end, and I will attach this piece with a dimensionals, so 3D foam dimensionals that you have. You can use 3D foam tape. I'm going to use smaller squares over here and attach that right on top of the card base. After that, I'm going to be taking a couple of pearls. Like you can use rhinestones if you want, but I thought because the clear sequence kind of shines pretty well, I went in with a pearls and dressed up one end, the one top left and the bottom right corner of the circle, just to create a little bit of more softness and elegant. And inside of the card, I took one of the smaller sentiment from the card and stamped it. It says, "You're kind and loving." So that finishes the card for today. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will be back with another tutorial next time. Have a fun day. Bye-bye.